Hello everyone, welcome to the Quarter Quilter. My name is Regina and we will be learning tricks, techniques, different ways to cut costs on making quilts. The quilt behind me, for example, the base of the quilt, the centerpiece of the quilt, cost approximately $6 with my techniques and my ways of finding fabric. And not everybody will do this, I understand that, but quilts way back when were not made all by buying back quarters, yardage. They were made from children's clothing, adult clothing that they could no longer wear, and they just didn't want to throw them away. They didn't throw things away way back in the Little House on Prairie days. They refurbished them and used them. I like that. Now I do buy yardage. I love my yardage, don't get me wrong. I have tons and tons of stash, back quarters, yardage. But on the other hand, my husband, penny pincher, will not buy me fabric when I ask all the time. In which, yes, it is all the time. We go to Walmart, we go to Joann Fabrics, and I beg, I don't have it, I need it, I have to have it. And he says, no. I already spent my allowance on fabric, I ain't getting no more. So we have a Council on Aging here in town that has garage sales 4 times a year and at 6 to 7 days. And they send out these little cards and tells you just when the garage sale is. Like the next one coming up is in February. Can't wait. It's the 28th. Yep. And the last 2 days of the garage sale, my favorite days, they're called bag days. They used to have 3, they cut them down to 2. But the second to the last day, it's $3 a bag for a paper bag full of clothing. Anything you can fit into this bag, you get for $3. The last day of the garage sale, anything you can stick in one of these bags includes dishes, silverware, candles, clothing, sheets, blankets. If you can get it in this bag, you get it for $1 and you get a bag free. Favorite day, I walk out with 25, 30 bags of clothes that I tear apart. It's a smock. And this smock is a 3X. But look how much fabric is in this 3X. I mean, I can make a whole quilt top from just this piece. We will cut it apart, cut sleeves off. Sleeves are big enough you can get some 2-inch squares out of. I do cut the pockets off. I leave 1 inch all around the pocket. I will make a pocket quilt. We'll have nothing but pockets from the clothes I tear apart. And the buttons. I save all the buttons. I do not save snaps because I do not have things that put snaps back on. But I do save as much of what I cut apart as possible. We will cut this apart in the next video. With this video, I'd like to show you how to find matching fabrics for the fat quarter or the yardage you found and you didn't have time to either find matching fabric when you had the fabric with you. There is a trick all of them have. This piece, my husband did buy me. Love my husband. It's my Christmas present. The salvage, you can see these little dots on the salvage. Each dot represents a color in this fabric. It's on the salvage, like I said. The salvage also tells you the maker of the fabric and the designer. So if you choose to stay within the same designer and maker, it tells you who it is. But all you do is cut this salvage off, throw it in your pocket, and go fabric shopping. Like I said, the quilt behind me is made of clothes. Children's clothes, adults' clothes, just clothes. This is, well, not just clothes. I did use sheets, high quality sheets. They're thicker, they get tighter weave, and you can buy 100% cotton sheets at Walmart, at Target, many of the convenience stores around your area. And what you do is just cut them apart. I use for my backing, which this does not have a backing, I do pick high quality sheets out to, instead of buying yardage, which costs $25, $30 a yard, to buy the fat yards of fabric to fit for a backing. This is a king size quilt hanging here. So I go and I get the large sheets. It's better quality than some fabric you can buy because it is tightly woven and it's just better quality than some fabric you can buy. Softer than this. This is soft, but the sheets that you buy, like the Egyptian cotton, it's got a tight weave and it's just softer to put on your body. Grandma used to tell me sheets were insulators. You get it, you make a blanket, what do you want? You want that blanket to keep you warm. So you got your top, you got your design, you got your pretty, you chose. You've picked out your batting. Many people base their batting off of the area they live. I live in Ohio. Yes, right now it's cold. It's very cold. So I'm going to want a thicker batting for my quilts. And then I go and I get my Egyptian cotton, my 100% cotton sheets, and I use it as a backing. Nobody has to know you used a sheet. Don't tell them. Yeah, but I'm proud that I use sheets. I reuse many things. I like to keep my costs down to a little minimum. You can go to auctions, garage sales, flea markets, the cutting mat that I have underneath my sewing machine. I went to an auction. Nobody at that auction knew what this was. So they got it down to a quarter. Nobody wanted to buy it. I raised my hand and I literally got this cutting board for a quarter because nobody else at the auction knew what it was. It was brand new at the time. Doesn't look it now, but it was. We're also going to show you one thing. The more you touch and fondle your fabric, the more you move it around, your hands are going to get dry. And your fabric's going to start feeling funny to you. Water-based, non-greasy lotion is what you need. I use this one. It's called Utterly Smooth Body Cream. Non-greasy. Use very little because you don't want to be too moist. Because in the fabric, it'll start coming up on the fabric. So just use a very little. I've used a lot. See? Rub it in. Water-based. I didn't get rubbed in all the way. But then you can easily hold your fabric. It moves around. This is a plus. Everybody should have an iron or a pressing roller. I do not like the pressing things because I like to make sure it's flat. When you take your quilts to a quilter to have them done, you will have areas on your quilt, like the one behind me. This has got 4 fabrics going into one point. And in some patterns, they have 8 fabrics going into one point. And that builds up fabric right there. And it's really hard for the quilter to take their sewing machine over and quilt that area. But if it's flat, it's easier. So always make sure you've ironed your quilts before you send them to the quilter or before you try quilting them yourselves. This is just one day of teaching how to cut costs from the quarter quilter.